of a rate. It's really phenomenal. And what I mean when I say catch and capture and band, basically to get these birds, we put a little aluminum band on them. These bands basically have a serial number. That bird will carry that band for the rest of its life. Then if that bird's ever found alive or dead, caught, captured, photographed again, somebody reports that band, we will get a report back. We will know how old that bird was when it was caught, where it was caught, when it was caught. So that's basically a lot of what we're trying to do. Here are the bands. This is a red tail band. Sharp shin band, little guy. Cooper's hawk band. So these are our three most...
That's the eagle band, by the way.
Oh, sorry, eagle band.
It's big.
We've cut very few of those. So basically, you have these numbers on here. So that's what's going on with there. You guys can pass this around to make sure we get it back. So if you ever see a banded bird, just go on an internet search engine, type in report banded bird. It's really vital. It's how we know basically where these birds are, how old they can live to be, so on and so forth. Because a big part of our project is trying to understand that. Well, how old can birds live to be, where are they breeding, where are they living, and essentially what's killing them. Because a lot of our reports back are from dead birds. Vehicle collisions is the biggest one, then hard object collisions, windows and so on and so forth. Put on decals and stuff on your windows if you can. Turn off your lights at night, that kind of stuff can all help. Otherwise, we are our own nonprofit. We're not associated with any other organization. We're not CMBO. We're not the Nature Conservancy, but we do collaborate occasionally. The state park here, Nature Conservancy, lets us put blinds and capture raptors on their land. Anything else about it? No? Well, any specific questions about the project from anybody? What do you got for me?
How many banding stations are you operating?
Right now we have 3. We usually have 4, but for the past few years, one of our sites has been unavailable. Any other questions about the project? No? Well, within that, we do accept donations. If you have the means, please, this is, we can't do it without you. What do you got for me?
Looks like he's gonna get out.
The cans are to put the birds in to keep them calm. That's what I'm about to pull out here, is a bird in a can for you. Bet you never seen that before. So here, this bird was caught just a few minutes ago, so we're getting a little bit of a late start today. So this, basically the can keeps them nice and calm. You take away their vision, they're calm. This is an accipiter. They can be a little flighty, no pun intended, and a little reactive to loud noises. So basically that means we'll try to keep kind of calm, keep the oohs and the ahs. And also this bird might start calling once I pull her out, because they can be loudmouths. It's not a sign that she's in trouble or she's hurt or anything. Some are just loud. We do have federal permits and state permits to do this. So yeah, and this is a ladybird. And I want you guys to tell me if you can figure out what it is once I pull her out. 1 second. She has legs for days.
Oh my gosh, oh my gosh.
She's okay. She's a wild bird. She's going to react a little bit. Thank you. Anybody have an idea what this lady is? You guys are right. So this is a young female Cooper's hawks. Who can tell me? How can I tell that this is a hatchie or born this year bird? Anybody? So they're going to have, when they first are coming out of the egg, nice little vertical streaks down the breast. Once they start getting a little bit older, they will start getting horizontal stripes and rufous breast. Kind of nice reddish. Yeah, she is. She's curious. Anybody else know how we can age this bird? Yellow eyes. So when they first come out of the egg, they'll have a gray eye. Transition to those yellow. Then it'll transition to an orangish yellow. Then a deeper orange. And if she really makes it, it'll be a nice blood red. And there's one more way. Anybody know it? Turn her around. Color of the back feathers. Anybody? Yeah. So this is going to transition to a nice slate gray once you reach maturity. Yeah, you're okay. You're okay. She's just a little freaked out, which is very reasonable. There's a monkey holding a bird. I can't blame her. So that's what's going on here. Also, you might notice short rounded wings, long legs, long tail. This is because she's a woodland raptor. She's going to have to fly between all these skinny branches. She's going to catch birds, little birds, songbirds. That's about 90% of what Cooper's hawks are going to eat. So that's what's going on, because she wants to be able to fit through. And check out this tail. So again, they're maneuvering through the trees. Hold on a second.
Wow.
There's no tension until I stop. So that's what they do. They're gonna move all those wings, those tails, just to get the right movement to catch those little tiny birds. Super long. You're okay. You're okay. You can let go of my shirt though. It's torn enough as it is. You know, whatever. If that makes you feel comfortable, you can do that. So yeah, this is a really cool bird. And raise your hand if you live in an urban, suburban area. Okay, as long as you have trees around, you probably have Cooper's hawks in your yard, unless you live up in Canada. So these birds have really done well in recent decades. They've started colonizing cities. Their smaller cousin, the sharpshin's not doing as well, we think. They need intact forested ecosystems. What's happening everywhere? Anybody? Fragmentation, logging, too much habitat destruction. We need to do more research into what's happening with their populations. That's why the places like hawk counts, hawk watches are so important, because they do the counting, we do the catching. We catch a fraction of what they see. So we're really keeping an eye on their smaller cousin. Thankfully, coops are doing pretty well, especially with climate change. These guys are probably going to do pretty well going forward. Hello. You're pretty calm. Yeah, you're doing okay. Now, I'm going to try to do this. Check that out. You guys see that? So that's basically, if you see a hawk doing that, try to do that with your head right now. Come on, do it. Basically helps them get some depth perception. How far away is that bird? How far away is that squirrel, that rabbit, that mouse? I want to know where it is. Because their eyes are pretty much solitary in their head. Any specific questions about this lady? What do you got for me? Yes, I will in a little bit after we're done. Then she's going to continue on her migrational journey. So yeah, about 50% of these hatchier birds might not make it. Hopefully she'll be one of the lucky ones, and hopefully we'll catch her in the following year. We had a really nice recap last year of Cooper's hawk that was originally banded by our project in 2007. That bird was at least 14 years old. That's really darn old for a Cooper's hawk. That's one of the reasons our project is so important. We can gauge things like that. Usual age range for Cooper's hawk will be about 6 years. The oldest one recorded was about 20 years, and that was thanks to a banding project out in Minnesota.
What data do you collect on them when you capture them?
So our project specifically looks at weight, wing chord, so how long is this wing? We take feather samples. We just finished up helping out a study looking at heavy metals in raptors, particularly mercury. For some reason sharpshins have a lot of mercury, we're not sure why. That's yet to be published. We've helped out a lot of different universities, independent researchers over the years, trying to figure out with studies whether it be locomotive of raptor takeoff, heavy metals, and so on. And sometimes just plumage characteristics. People are just curious. We do this project, we love to help them out. It's a big part of what we do. We want to help conserve these raptors in the long run.
So how strong are those talons? It just doesn't look like
Down.
You ever find out?
I don't know specific like pounds per square inch kind of thing, but strong enough that I've felt it. I felt it.
So you got
Yeah, I mean, but nothing's like bad. Yeah, but you're just careful. You know. But pretty strong enough. You know, they can snap a small bird.
Cool. It's a great picture.
The bill change color at all? 1 second. So not with them, their bill doesn't change color, but the skin around it is an indication, like the yellow is an indication of how healthy they are, so that's called the sear. That can change in raptors, particularly falcons, I've heard. Yeah? Yeah. What you got?
I have a chickadee stuffy, I can hold it like this.
Oh, you got the banding grip. Good job. Yeah. All right, well, she's about ready to go, so I'm going to go release her, guys. Yeah, come on over. You guys can all come on over. And these are the most common birds. About 50% of our cancer rate is going to be Cooper's hawk. It used to be sharpshins. We pretty much flip-flopped it. Great question. So sharpshin and Cooper's hawk sizes do not overlap at all. Not at all. So one thing I tell you, the females in raptors, almost every raptor species, females are going to be favored to be larger. Like young ladies. But there's actually no size overlap between the two species. I thought it until I came here. I'm like, oh, well, I've been telling people the wrong thing. But now that I've held them both in hand side by side, there's no overlap. All right, guys. So I can't predict which way she'll fly, but I want you all to count down with me. We're gonna go. You gonna help me? We're gonna go 3, 2, 1. Okay. 3, 2, 1. See? Right through the woods. That's where they're most comfortable. Now, hopefully she won't get re-caught by us, at least for a few days. days or a year or so. Sometimes they come back 5 minutes later. If you guys have more questions, talk a little bit more about the project. If you're looking at the birds, feel free to make a donation on your way out. No, this is our last demo of the season. Yeah.
So what type of bird would go in that red team? I've been waiting years.
Got it yesterday.
If you would have been here yesterday.
Yeah, no, I'm regretting that.
We had, yeah, so this is a big red tail. We don't get many that fit in here. So yeah, this is a big old, probably female red tail. The eagles fit in literally a drainage pipe. Oh, wow.
What did you have yesterday?
We got a red tail, coops, and sharpie for one of them. Wow. And this is a sharp-shinned hawk, a little male. So they can all go after each other at times, but you know, you never know what you're going to find and where you're going to catch. Most of what we catch again is going to be coopers. Right now the females are coming through pretty heavy. We've started catching more adults though, which makes me super psyched. I had my first adult sharpie of the season yesterday. I was like over the moon. Yeah.
So I have a question about the Cooper's Sharpie thing.
Yeah.
Online are saying all the time, I can never tell the difference between Sharpshins and Coopers.
Mm-hmm.
Is there
Or a Cooper and a
things
red
for
tail.
other reasons than size?
Juvenile red tail.
In flight, it can be really, really difficult, and it can take years to learn. I also think, I'm pretty sure they're going to be doing, CMBO's going to be doing a live Raptor, not a live Raptor, like a Raptor workshop, so hang out at 10:30 or so, come here. But otherwise, the big things you're going to look for, Coopers, when they're in flight, they're like a little letter T. They have a bigger head that sticks out in front of their wings. Coopers are going to be like that, but Sharpshins, they have a short little pin head, so they're going to be a big letter T. The head will not really stick out. It can be difficult though, because sometimes Sharpshins have a big crop where they store their food that can make their head look huge. But honestly, at the end of the day, it's a Cooper's or a Sharpshin, okay? You can't tell. It's an accipiter. If you can't tell that, it's a raptor. If you can't tell that, guys, it's a bird. That's how I got my start. I couldn't tell the difference. You know, you just go with what you can do. You just get better over years and you don't stress. No birder, no person will ever be able to ID every single raptor. There will always be some that escape, and that's okay.
Right. That's an excellent point, because what you hear is people going back and forth, oh no, it's a blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, really, it's...
It's a bird.
And people will, like, somebody will describe everything and then say, a male. I'm like, okay, does it really matter? No, it's cool that you saw it, and yeah.
Exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, don't lose your familial relationships over it. It's not politics.
Is there a website for the banding project?
Yes, CapeMayRaptors.org. We also accept donations there. We also have a Facebook and an Instagram, Cape May Raptors. Check us out. Follow along. We post our weekly totals on our website, and we try to update our in social media as much as we can, but I've been so busy, I've been slacking a little.
So, is your project associated with anything that Katie Duffy's doing with the owls?
Great question. So we're not directly associated, but we help her out. She's like her own entity.
Is Peter Johnston on? Yes, he is. He was here yesterday.
What's your question?
Did you ever catch a sick bird?
That's a good question.
Wow.
So we haven't really caught sick birds. Occasionally we've caught hurt birds. Like the only 2 adult eagles this project's caught since 1967 were both hurt. One had fish hooks in its talons, which the bander was able to get out. And then another one was just super, super skinny. But otherwise, we're seeing a disease in the sharp-shinned hawks called capillaria. It's like a parasite in the mouth that can cause lesions and eventually deformities. It's a relatively new thing we're finding in sharp-shins really since 2016. So we are noting that and taking basically really good care. We have specific cans for them. We don't want to spread it. We spread all the cans between birds. So that's what's going on with that. Really good question. What else you got?
I like your glasses.
Oh, thank you. I like your sweatshirt.
Back to the sharpshin issue with the mouth. Is there any kind of treatment that you could give them?
Not that I'm aware of, and unless it's in rehab, we wouldn't do it because these birds are so capable of hunting, so on. And you know, diseases or parasites, they're an animal too. As long as they're native, they have a place in the ecosystem. We wish they weren't on our birds because I personally value the birds more than the parasite. But I mean, parasites are animals too.
Yeah, and I ask because I know when they banned young peregrines, they look for some trichinosis or something, and they do treat them for that.
Yeah, I don't know much about that, but with our program, we just know how bad it is. And I mean, if it was really, really bad and like the bird wasn't capable anymore, we probably wouldn't have caught it. But again, rehab places might be able to do something, but I don't know enough about the care of it. Again, I mean, it happens, it's not good, but we're not sure how it's impacting them in the long run because it's so new. We're trying to understand. Sharpies in their breeding grounds are so hard to find, so yeah. We're not even sure how it's spread or so on and so forth. So that's why a lot more research is going into that right now. Really good questions. Anything else? We're here for you. No stupid questions.
Will you be here a few more minutes so I can go get some cash and put it
Oh,
in your?
yes, we will be here a few more minutes. Thank you so much.